A parable showing how love, humility, and discretion are united, and how the soul should conform herself to this parable. Do you know how these three virtues stand together? It is as if a circle were drawn on the surface of the earth, and a tree, with an offshoot joined to its side, grew in the center of the circle. The tree is nourished in the earth contained in the diameter of the circle. For if the tree were out of the earth, it would die and give no fruit. Now consider in the same way that the soul is a tree existing by love, and that it can live by nothing else than love. And that if this soul have not in very truth the divine love of perfect charity, she cannot produce fruit of life, but only of death. It is necessary, then, that the root of this tree, that is, the affection of the soul, should grow in and issue from the circle of true self-knowledge, which is contained in me, who have neither beginning nor end, like the circumference of the circle. For, turn as you will within a circle, inasmuch as the circumference has neither end nor beginning, you always remain within it. This knowledge of yourself and of me is found in the earth of true humility, which is as wide as the diameter of the circle, that is, as the knowledge of self and of me. For otherwise the circle would not be without end and beginning, but would have its beginning in knowledge of self and its end in confusion, if this knowledge were not contained in me. Then the tree of love feeds itself on humility, bringing forth from its side the offshoot of true discretion, in the way that I have already told you, from the heart of the tree, that is, the affection of love which is in the soul, and the patience which proves that I am in the soul, and the soul in me. This tree, then, so sweetly planted, produces fragrant blossoms of virtue, with many scents of great variety, inasmuch as the soul renders fruit of grace and of utility to her neighbor, according to the zeal of those who come to receive fruit for my servants. And to me she renders the sweet odor of glory and praise to my name, and so fulfills the object of her creation. In this way, therefore, she reaches the term of her being, that is, myself, her God, who am eternal life. And these fruits cannot be taken from her without her will, inasmuch as they are all flavored with discretion, because they are all united, as has been said above. How penance and other corporal exercises are to be taken as instruments for arriving at virtue, and not as the principal affection of the soul, and of the light of discretion in various other modes and operations. These are the fruits and the works which I seek from the soul, the proving, namely, of virtue in the time of need. And yet some time ago, if you remember, when you were desirous of doing great penance for my sake, asking, "What can I do to endure suffering for you, O Lord?" I replied to you, speaking in your mind, "I take delight in few words and many works." I wish to show you that he who merely calls on me with the sound of words, saying, "Lord, Lord," I would do something for you. And he who desires for my sake to mortify his body with many penances, and not his own will, did not give me much pleasure, but that I desired the manifold works of manly endurance with patience, together with the other virtues, which I have mentioned to you above, intrinsic to the soul, all of which must be in activity in order to obtain fruits worthy of grace. All other works, founded on any other principle than this, I judge to be a mere calling with words, because they are finite works, and I, who am infinite, seek infinite works, that is, an infinite perfection of love. I wish, therefore, that the works of penance and of other corporal exercises should be observed merely as means, and not the fundamental affection of the soul. For if the principal affection of the soul were placed in penance, I should receive a finite thing like a word, which, when it is issued from the mouth, is no more, unless it have issued with affection of the soul, which conceives and brings forth virtue and truth. That is, unless the finite operation, which I have called a word, should be joined with the affection or love, in which case it would be grateful and pleasant to me. And this is because such a work would not be alone, but accompanied by true discretion, using corporal works as means, and not as the principal foundation. For it would not be becoming that that principal foundation should be placed in penance only, or in any exterior corporal act, such works being finite, since they are done in finite time, and also because it is often profitable that the creature omit them, and even that she be made to do so. Wherefore, when the soul omits them through necessity, being unable through various circumstances to complete an action which she has begun, or, as may frequently happen, through obedience at the order of her director, it is well, since, if she continued then to do them, she not only would receive no merit, but would offend me. Thus, you see that they are merely finite. She ought, therefore, to adopt them as a means, and not as an end. For if she takes them as an end, she will be obliged, some time or another, to leave them, and will then remain empty. This, my trumpeter, the glorious Paul taught you when he said in his epistle, that you should mortify the body and destroy self-will, knowing, that is to say, how to keep the rein on the body, macerating the flesh whenever it should wish to combat the spirit. But the will should be dead and annihilated in everything, and subject to my will. And this slaying of the will is that due which, as I told you, the virtue of discretion renders to the soul. That is to say, hatred and disgust of her own offenses and sensuality, which are acquired by self-knowledge. This is the knife which slays and cuts off all self-love founded in self-will. These, then, are they who give me not only words, but manifold works, and in these I take delight. And then I said that I desired few words and many actions. By the use of the word many, I assign no particular number to you, because the affection of the soul, founded in love, which gives life to all the virtues and good works, should increase infinitely. And yet I do not, by this, exclude words. I merely said that I wished few of them, showing you that every actual operation, as such, was finite, and therefore I called them of little account. But they please me when they are performed as the instruments of virtue, and not as a principal end in themselves.